Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be a video about the long-range pattern, the long-range outlook, what to expect across the United States for the next 7, or really in the next 14 days. And we'll just get right into it. If you guys would like to subscribe to this channel, please consider doing so. Obviously, if you are new and this is your first video you're watching, consider checking out the channel first. That would be unwise to subscribe based on a 50-second intro. But please consider doing so. And check out the channel, check out the videos. Consider subscribing. If you are a returning fan, not really fan, viewer, then you could consider liking the videos. That really helps out a lot, this channel. It's really what drives this channel for us, so thank you so much for that. Right now, we are going to be talking about the temperatures, or let's just look at the let's look at the temperatures. So right now, we're looking at the GFS model, and the GFS kind of is, I guess, all over the place, really. It's has been influenced by the European for the past several days. The European has been more accurate, I would say, in terms of the temperatures going into the long run, but it definitely has been jumping around a lot as well. So right now, we're just kind of relying on, I guess, the combination of models, if you will. Again, right now, the weekend's going to be hot across the eastern United States, the Great Lakes, and including the West. But then we get this cool-off that I remember I was talking about, and you could see Tuesday into Wednesday, very nice temperatures. Maybe it's not going to be cool, but it's going to feel like a nice relief compared to the heat we've been having. So definitely something that's welcomed. You can see the Midwest and eastern United States. Sorry about that. Midwest and central United States are going to be into the cool down. You can see it goes as far south as Tennessee, northern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Arkansas. But then it really, the GFS holds this, sorry about that, this cool off for a very long time. You can see it just holds, it drags it on across the central part of the country, while it really heats up across southern Canada and into the west, in Montana, North Dakota. And then it, finally starts dwindling. I don't think it'll be holding on for that long. We'll have to see, though. The GFS may be onto something. But notice that the GFS then adverts a little nice, another cool-off coming across the Midwest. But really, otherwise, if you don't live across the Midwest or the Northern Plains, chances are you'd be in the heat. Maybe a few days of chill across the Northwest, but really, it's going to be mainly dominated by warm temperatures across the South. It's going to be basically a kind of like a circle of cool weather, and then just heat all around it. It's basically what it's going to be. So, really, it's going to be, for the majority of the United States, it's going to be a warm pattern rather than a cool pattern. And again, a few areas across the Midwest will be seeing some cool weather. Let's look at the GEFS ensembles. This is a group of GFS-like models. I think there's 20 submodels, and you can see they are showing that cool weather across the central part of the country, but again, lots of heat across the northern plains, really sorry about that, front range of the Rockies into the southern plains. Quite a bit of heat. The Four Corners area also seeing quite a load of heat, and you can see it starts getting more and more oppressive, especially look at that James Bay. They've had a record-breaking July. It's just been absolutely miserably hot, and you can see that as we push forward into time, we continue seeing that, this warm air kind of override this cool air, but we see a general I guess a decrease in the coloration, and that's obvious because the confidence is lower, so they're not going to show a 20+ degree surge 384 hours out, where it might not even be above average across that location at that time. So there's definitely still a lot of change that will occur. Also, I should have done this earlier in the video. I wanted to bring attention to the National Hurricane Center. There is a hurricane right now, Hurricane Hannah. It just made landfall across Texas not that long ago as I'm recording this video. And you can see, as of right now, as of the latest update, the latest advisory, you can see it's at 85 miles per hour. It really intensified pretty quickly. Again, the warm waters across the Gulf allowed for that, and we could, it's only July and we're seeing this. So definitely stay prepared for this if you live in Texas. Lots of rain. Just because you're not in the direct path doesn't mean you won't get impacted by some rain across Texas. I'd say Louisiana as well getting impacted. Also notice there's quite a bit of activity going on, some remnants, another disturbance possibly. So definitely, just keep an eye on the National Hurricane Center, as this is definitely something that will, 90% of the hurricane season is still ahead of us, the activity. So this is when stuff gets real, and with the hurricane season forecasted to be above average, it could be fairly interesting, obviously in the bad sense. It could be a pretty pretty destructive hurricane season, and especially with what we have going on, the help, the aids after a tropical storm, a hurricane could be even stretched more. FEMA is stretched out because of what's going on right now, and if a big hurricane were to come across, that's not good news. So, have a plan. This is definitely something not to be scared about. Not trying to scare anyone about this, but it would be wise to be prepared. If you live along the coast, really anywhere, I would say, across with the Atlantic, you have a chance. Again, the chances, it's a chance. You have one each year. So this year it's supposed to be higher. It may or may not be true. We'll have to see, but better be safe than sorry, as the old saying goes. Let's look at the precipitation outlook, and let's go back to the GFS, since the GEFS ensembles don't have a uniform precip outlook. In terms of, where the rain will occur, they have a precipitation outlook in terms of total precip. But as you saw that little right there, that little tropical storm, I don't know, hurricane possibly, this is very far out, obviously, 220 hours out. But it's just showing that your possibility that, if a hurricane had the right, or if a tropical storm had the right environment, if a tropical disturbance had the right environment, it could develop into a stronger storm. And really, a lot of areas are in jeopardy this year. So stay prepared. That's the best thing to do. You can see right now, Hurricane Hannah is across Texas. It's going to decrease pretty quickly in strength as it's already on land. That's what happens to a hurricane. It weakens on land. But again, the rain is going to be powerful. The wind also a concern. Just because it's a Category 1 doesn't mean it's not powerful. Tropical Storm Sandy was a tropical storm when it hit the New York coast, but it was again one of the costliest tropical storms in the history of the U.S. Again, not the costliest, but it was, it's a name to remember, and it wasn't even a hurricane. So definitely, just because it's a Category 1 or Category 2 doesn't mean that it's, it should be taken lightly, even if it's a tropical storm. Apologies about my runny nose. I don't know what's going on. I just have a little bit of a runny nose right now. Not sick, hopefully at least. But I want to talk about the precipitation. Notice, generally it's going to be drier across the north. We have a storm across the northern portions, or southern portions of Canada, and it's affecting northern portions of the U.S. You can see a nice, strong cold front sweeping across the states. Again, this hurricane falls apart into a tropical depression storm, and really just leaves a lot of precipitation across the Gulf, though. And that kind of energy, I guess, some of it wanders to the north, stays across the Tennessee Valley. And then you can see the GFS is showing more of a drier pattern across the United States, actually a very dry pattern, but potentially a tropical disturbance of some kind. It's showing actually, in this model run in particular, it's showing a very strong scenario. Again, it's just one model run. We'll have to see what actually occurs, but it's definitely a possibility. Again, a couple of cooldowns are definitely possible as well, but generally more of a drier pattern. It looks as if the beginning to August will be more dry across the Midwest at least, and it will also be cooler across the Midwest. Anywhere else, though, it doesn't look like it will be awfully wet across the West, but it will be awfully dry, or awfully will be pretty dry, and it'll be awfully warm. So not really a good combination. But you can see there is plenty of rain across the south that could be occurring. And really, the northern U.S. kind of dries out, which is a bit concerning, to say the least. The Canadian model goes out to 240 hours. You can see shows even less rain, as it's only 240 hours. And the GFS goes out to 384 hours. So that's definitely something to take notice of. Let's go to the European model, precipitation and storms. You can see there's, again, that storm across southern Canada right now, dropping quite a bit of precipitation, some thunderstorms. Again, it's very isolated. It's a classic summer setup where a storm could be very powerful, but it doesn't have a lot of precip to work with, so it just spews up some thunderstorms, showers, not much in terms of precipitation, and you can see it kind of just dwindles across portions of Quebec. And we get a low pressure possibly developing. This is across the Ozarks, really kind of south of the Ozarks into parts of the Tennessee Valley, and that is kind of I guess the tail of this cold front. You can see it kind of moves along, and it collides with possibly with another a little bit of this precipitation that's left behind from the tropical storm earlier. By Tropical Storm Hannah, or Hurricane Hannah now known as, and you can see that it kind of drifts off. And then European also showing around the same time frame the GFS is this little storm that could be of interest, which the GFS is advocating to be much stronger. Again, whether or not that'll happen, we'll have to see. A lot of time is still between us and that storm. If you were to look at the total precipitation, again, wet towards the south, really not that impressive towards the north. You can see with this storm, the storm that's going on right now, there's going to be quite a bit of precipitation, right? But afterwards, it's really, there's just going to be a lack of storms, no precip. Really the situation for the north, as the southern U.S. will definitely be more wet. You can see 240 hours out, many states seeing 1 to 3 inches of rain, widespread amounts, and obviously where a tropical storm would possibly occur with this, what a Hurricane Hannah, you can see the amounts are just ridiculous. It could be up to 14, 15 inches. Not the greatest. Hurricane Harvey was way more. Obviously, that's not really a reason, though. That's not really good reasoning as to why you shouldn't be preparing or taking this serious. As rain is rain, and you can see 9 inches, 11 inches is a bucket load of rain, and it should not be messed with. But notice the coast, Carolinas, Outer Banks also pretty wet. As you go up to the northeast, pretty dry. Midwest also dry. A few pockets of wetter precipitation, in the west really vastly dry. So definitely not good news. But that's the pattern we're stuck in right now. I want to show you the 8 to 14 day outlook, as that could be of bigger interest to us. Show us a general pattern, and you can see that they're showing warm temperatures, just with not much confidence, if you will. A lot of warm, surrounded by possibly a bit cooler across the northwest and maybe the central southern U.S. Generally, though, again, I would argue for a warmer pattern. You can see it's more dominated by below average precip than above average. A few areas of above, generally below, and the more further north you go, chances of the below are probably going to be on your side versus the south, where it's going to be above average precipitation more likely. A 6 to 10 day outlook, you can see warmness, warmth surrounded by a bit of coolness, or coolness surrounded by a bit of warmth across the United States. Again, not awfully too cool. More of a warm pattern, and in terms of precip, much of the same. So definitely not good news, as this could cause some drought and some concern. And you can see that it's really unfortunate, as where it's cooler, it could be above average in precip, which is not really where we'd like to see it. We'd like to see the precipitation where it's hotter. As that's usually where they need it more. Heat causes quicker evaporation. It's kind of a direct correlation there. So I also wanted to show you the 3 to 4 week outlook as well. So this is the 3 to 4 week outlook from August 8th to the 21st of August. Now, this is interesting because they don't show any cool weather, right? But they show this big dip across equal chance across the plains of the United States. Now, the 3 to 4 week outlook isn't awfully accurate, and it's not really, it's not, I'm not trying to criticize this Climate Prediction Center or NOAA or anything like that. It's just hard. 3 to 4 week outlook is a long time out. It's really tough, and they still do a really good job with these outlooks. But you could see that they're going for more of a drier pattern across the northwest and northern plains. Again, wetter towards the south. I think I would agree with that. And what they're showing is that maybe possibly cooler temperatures. What they're basically saying here is that if there are going to be cooler temperatures across the country, it's probably going to be in this region, as anywhere across the west, the south, and the east, it's going to be rather warm. But there is a chance of a bit, maybe a bit cooler temperatures across the central and Midwest, I guess, of the United States. And it's a little bit of a change because for the past several 3 to 4 week outlooks, it's been mainly a all orange map, and now they're finally showing some white, which means possibly a bit of cooler temperatures. Though definitely they're not showing the blue, which would indicate cooler temperatures. It's showing that there's a heightened possibility of blue, a lessened probability of yellow, I guess, so, or orange. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking the video, consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. By the way, if you wanna again keep up with the weather events that are going on right now, go to the National Hurricane Center. Just type in NHC. It'll take you to this website. You'll be able to find it, and you could get all sorts of updates. And again, National Weather Service is your best friend. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.